Salutations, cyberspace, and welcome back for any returning viewers. We're going to do a Let's Draw as usual, but it's going to be a little more ranty because I want to get something off my chest I've been feeling for quite some time, and that is my feelings about how certain black characters or black coded characters are designed in video games, anime, and surrounding media. And for my case study, I'll be redrawing Theodora from Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, as she kind of represents all the issues I have with some creatives creating black characters in official media. So let's get on with the show, everybody. So I'm not going to doom and gloom or pretend like the designs of black characters in the media I tend to consume are all bad. If anything, quite the opposite. We're at a point now where black characters in the fictional media I consume are consistently very good and normal, which is kind of the goal of representation of minorities, is to kind of get to the state where we're just here and it's not a big deal. So I want to highlight some gems of fictional black characters, the type of stuff I consume that I really enjoy. So we have Nagoriyuki. He's from Guilty Gear Strive. I love fighting games, and he is a vampire samurai. Very cool. What else can you ask for? I also love Kimberly from Street Fighter 6, with the one caveat being her skin tight pants. I don't know what's with that. And they were so close with missing this golden idea of having her orange gi top in her default costume paired with the baggy pants of her costume too. If she had that and the same sneakers she's currently wearing as well, that would have been the perfect outfit for our street dancing ninja. I'm not going to sit here and go on that tangent continually, but I do love Kimberly as a character design in Street Fighter 6 besides that. I also like Lunella from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And there's the scientist lady from Street Sharks, and I watched one episode and couldn't get into Street Sharks, but I definitely remembered the scientist. Wink, wink, ha ha ha. I also have to sit here and give shout outs to Princess Tiana from Disney. Princess TT looking good, and I like her despite her movie being a movie I don't like as much. But as you can see, there are plenty of fictional black characters design-wise that I deeply and thoroughly enjoy and have been done well in my opinion. And it's such a shame that with all of this, there's still black characters in fictional media that are designed weirdly. And that brings us to our case study with Theodora here from Fire Emblem's Fortune's Weave that's coming out real soon. Let me go Urkel and get my credentials because I know how the Fire Emblem community is. So yes, I'm one of the modern Fire Emblem players and fans where I got into Fire Emblem with Awakening, which is considered a modern game. And that's because, let's be real, the anime art style and the dating simulator that got added to the Fire Emblem games. And I played Awakening, I played both Conquest and Birthright, and no, I'm not playing Revelations because I already paid for effectively a game twice. And I had a Switch, but I wasn't able to get my hands on Three Houses because I was just too busy around the time the Switch came out in general. And let's just say that I will not be able to join everyone in the Fire Emblem community playing Fortune's Weave because Nintendo's pricing scheme as of recently has made my pockets want to cry. There are probably going to be some FE fans who will say I'm not a real fan anyway because there's a whole clash between modern and old players, but we're going to get to the drawing now, so I'm going to talk about Theodora and what I'm doing with her here. So I'm going to draw Theodora the same way I draw my other black characters on this channel because I personally believe that Theodora is a black woman in everything but name. And that is me saying that I know that the Kingdom of Salamis, which she rules, and the Daxian Empire and all the other places in Fortune's Weave aren't real places, so there's no white people, black people, Middle Eastern people, etc. But from her skin tone to the fact that she comes from a desert-like climate to her reveal trailer talking about how she needs to be strong for her people and such, it just gives me, this character's a black woman, but we won't say she's a black woman, wink wink. So I'm drawing Theodora like my other black characters. She has more wider of a nose and more prominent nostrils and fuller lips, features associated with black people. And I'm gonna keep her hair straight because personally I would make it a natural textured hairstyle, but I do want you to be able to tell this is Theodora, but I'll say that because her hair is such a bright neon blonde, like I just don't like that hair color with straight hair on a dark-skinned woman like Theodora because, no offense to the weave wearers, but it looked like she done picked a weird wig and laid that on her head weird. And it's such a shame too because there are other characters in Fortune's Weave with textured hair like Kai, the other main character, and he looks so cool and I like him design wise. And it's like Theodora is darker than him and you couldn't give her natural hair as a hairstyle too, but I'm gonna keep it straight for this drawing. And I personally believe that her hair is neon blonde and in the texture it is to kind of reference Saint Seiros, because I feel that Theodora may have a connection to Saint Seiros in some way. Saint Seiros being from the Three Houses game, and basically that's Rhea. For those who are in the know, you know the lore between Rhea and Seiros and everything. So we're going to get to the ranty part of the video because I'm going to talk about Theodora's skin tone, because that is the elephant in the room and the main complaint I have about her, because oh my gosh, what the actual hell is going on? Why is her skin gray? Like, it looks like she jumped into a vat of bleach and walked out and said, okay, I'm good, ready to show. Like, even that's an understatement, because at least the skin bleachers do have a lighter complexion, even if it comes with a weird gray ashy filter on top of it. I don't know why they did this. Like, when I saw the trailer in Theodora for the first time, I literally thought she was an Agarthan, and Agarthans have gray skin. So I just, like, if you're gonna be this way with dark skinned characters, don't even put them in your games. Like, I'm not one of those black people who's gonna sit here and try to push for black representation if it's gonna come in these forms, because seriously, Theodora might as well just be white. Let's just be real, because like, this is so weird and off-putting. Like, Kai and Lita are brown, and their skin tones in their portrait and in their models don't have this gray filter on it. And so why does she have it, other than the fact that she's supposed to be a dark-skinned woman? And it's very clear that they just don't like their characters, especially their female characters, being dark-skinned. And I noticed this happening in Japanese companies more, and it's likely just because they aren't really in connection with black people as often. And let's be real, their player bases are not going to be predominantly black, let's be real. So it just creates a lot of ignorance and just basically not having black people on their design teams. So they just think this type of stuff is seemingly okay, when in reality it's not, and it just looks kind of crazy. And Theodora's not even the only character. There's other characters in Fortune's Weave who have this weird gray filter to their skin, and it's just so weird. They don't even look human, they look like dark elves. And it's not even Theodora or characters in this game that tend to succumb to this. Like, I'm reminded of Elena from Street Fighter 6. She's supposed to be a Kenyan woman, yet I'm gonna be real, she don't really look Kenyan at all. Like, she looks like she comes from Brazil in all honesty, but considering her martial art capoeira, like, you might as well make Elena Brazilian by the way she looks, because she just does not give Kenyan. And so it's just me being frustrated. I also know colorism exists in East Asia like it does everywhere, and so maybe it is influencing a lot of the design decisions. And again, they just seem to have a fear of making their female characters dark skinned to begin with anyway. Like, look at the recording now, because I am literally swatching the skin tone off of Theodora's official portrait released, and it just looks like this weird fuchsia color. And it's like, why? The other characters don't have this grayish filter to their skin tone. And at this point, I have plenty of representation of black fictional characters, and I'm personally creating my own fictional black characters and doing the thing of trying to create representation I like. And so if you're just gonna do this with your dark-skinned characters, don't put them in your game. So I've given Theodora a warmer skin tone, a skin tone where she actually seems to have warmth in her and not look like a freaking dark elf from a fantasy game. And even I fell into the trap of trying to like salvage her current skin tone, because I swatched it and then tried to pick a color around it. And like, I've noticed that they picked a skin tone color that's like on the red color scale when they should be picking from the orange color scale if they want a dark skin, let's be frank, black character. And like, no baby, you can't be picking from the red scale, because I tried coloring in with a redder skin tone color to give it more warmth, and now she looks like a imp from Hell of a Boss. So no, she has a proper dark brown skin tone, and I decided to draw her without the crown so you can see her new skin tone and facial features a lot better. And I'm just gonna be frank, it's stuff like this that makes me kind of happy that I personally evolved out of the anime art style. And I'm not sitting here taking shade, because I think there's anime style art that can be very beautiful and just as beautiful as any other piece of art. But personally, it's stuff like this that makes me makes you want to personalize my characters more, because even outside the skin tone, like, I noticed that characters in the anime art style in games like Three Houses and, you know, this game and other games around it like Persona 5 and especially Under Night and Birth, the characters all come from a certain template. They don't really experiment with nose shapes or head shapes or lip sizes and other factors to make characters look distinguished from each other, and it kind of looks like they took a base from DeviantArt and just gave that base different hairstyles and different skin tones and eye colors and went, okay, there we go, that's how we distinguish them from each other. And I personally don't like that, and that's why I've developed my own unique art style out of that, and it's inspired by, you know, real life people and using real life people as references. And so that is just a personal thing, no shots to anyone who draws in the anime art style, because I know how some of y'all can be on the internet. I want to reiterate that there's no shots taken at any creative artists behind Fortune's Weave. I'm pretty sure there's no ill intent on their part. This is, for the most part, kind of funny to me, but at the same time, it's just like, you kind of missed the mark, and it's just a disparity between how Theodora is represented compared to the other brown and black characters in Fortune's Weave that I just had to say something about and wanted to make a video about. So thank you for watching. On to the finished picture.